fall. This particular night. I met a good friend of mine, a great songwriter from Ireland, a girl called Lisa O'Neill. I met her for a cup of tea in Dublin, just after coming back from a European tour. And we were both kind of in a similar place to where we are right this second, to be honest. Like, kind of really happy with how it's all going, but also just, you know, tired. But not in a, we're just tired. And we met and we went for a cup of tea in Bewley's, which is a cafe on Grafton Street in town. And we had a cup of tea and we talked about the tour, and we talked about how good it was to be back in Dublin. And of course, we decided we'd go for a pint. And we went around to shows around the corner, and we had a pint in there. And we met some friends and we talked, but the conversation was it was just one of those days. There are always the days when you don't really prepare for them, you know. These things always happen on days when you don't wash, or you're just in that kind of like, you sort of wander into town almost in your dressing robe, you know, those days. And they're amazingly, they're always the days when magic happens. And I think it has something to do with the magic of our funk, whatever that is. Or when we're just being ourselves. I think that's what it is. And we met and we went for a pint, and then we went for another pint, and of course the bar ended up closing. And we went to see a friend's band, and our friend was playing, and our friend's really good. We went to see him, and great songwriter. And he has good taste in wine. During the end of his concert, we snuck upstairs and stole his wine. Not all of it, we're not like that. We stole some of it, the good stuff. And we went off, we decided to head off into the countryside, and because there's a great Irish tenor called Count John McCormack. And John McCormack was a wonderful, wonderful singer. And kind of probably Ireland's first rock star. He went to America and he did really well. And he came back to Ireland, and he owned, you know, lots of different businesses, and he was adored. Count John, his name, he was turned into a count. Not by us. We don't have counts in Ireland. But a wonderful man. And I knew where his birthplace was. And it was an old derelict cottage by a river. And so I took Lisa there. And we broke in. It's empty. We weren't breaking into anything in particular. We broke in and we sat there and we drank wine and we sang songs to John McCormack. And it was a wonderful feeling singing to his ghost, the ghost of his childhood. And John is long dead. The phone rang, and Damien Dempsey, another amazing Irish songwriter, a great musician, rang us and said, "Where are you? Come on, we go out." He says, "Well, actually, we're in John McCormack's house." He says, "Put me on speakerphone." We put him on speakerphone, and he sang a song to John McCormack's house. Anyway, we had this amazing night. It was a night full of learning from each other. Full of those nights where you meet someone and you really, really learn a lot about intimacy. And we had a very strong connection. And I guess where I blew it was that I should have said at some point, you know, just to be clear, you know, nothing happened between us, but just to be clear, you know, I do have a girlfriend, and I love her, and we need to watch this, you know, because there was definitely, you know, the heat between two people is natural. You can't decide it's gonna. Men and women, like, you can't decide you're going to be friends. It's something else decides. You don't get to be logical about that, because love is not rational. And there was a love between us, and we were both aware of it and acknowledging it, but at the same time not acknowledging the rest of our lives. Now, I didn't know Lisa's situation either, to be honest. So anyway, we eventually made it back home, and we respectfully slept separately. The next day, I made her breakfast, and it came up. So, what's the situation with you, anyway? And I was like, well, I have a girlfriend. And she said, you know what? You should have said that to me last night. Because I had romantic emotions. And she was a little upset with me, which is fair enough. So in a way, it's good to be upfront. But I was enjoying my night so well. I was enjoying it so much. And I knew, in the back of my head, I knew, just say it, and then it's out. Because honesty is the basis of our friendship. We're very honest with each other. But I wasn't honest about that. So, anyway, this is for Lisa. As it turns out, Lisa also wrote a song about the same night. Her one is less forgiving. No, I've not been straight at all. Well, I beg your pardon. The night we jumped McCormack's wall, I was so happy just to be with you. I just said anything at all. If I could scream your name, try pass the blame, but I know you won't respond. Well, here we are. What's there to do? Like I'm gonna ride Black River.